Screaming fans at the National Soccer Stadium, high winds from the northwest. A lot of partisan feeling tonight. Uruguay's best finish, 97 in Malaysia. When they lost to Argentina in the final, the U.S. got to the semis, finishing fourth in Saudi Arabia in 1989. Dick, first, the wind. Is that a factor?
It definitely will be a factor. They're talking about 41 kilometres an hour. You kick with the wind or you kick against it, and we were just chatting about that, Bob, weren't we? When you feel that you take advantage of the wind.
I would want the wind at my back, simply because if it died down, then I'd lose that advantage in the second half.
Bob, how about this factor? For the first time, Uruguay has to come and play on the artificial turf. That will be a change. Do you think it's a big change?
It's a massive change, and Craig made the point in the intro. It's a difficult transition going from grass to turf, and I think the Uruguayans in the early stages of the matches are going to struggle with that, and it would be up to the Americans to try to take advantage of that.
And also, Scott, the travel time. You know what it's like coming back, you know, from west to east. That also will take its factor.
Yes, as the players and the clubs make their way out onto the turf at the National Soccer Stadium, the United States in white, Uruguay will wear red, and they have had to make a transcontinental journey. Great fan support. There are 30,000 Uruguayan Canadians living in the Toronto area. And of course, as you know, many Americans have come across from the border cities in the United States, namely Buffalo, Cleveland area, and down from Detroit. Right now, we're getting set for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'hymne national des États-Unis d'Amérique. National anthem of Uruguay. Et maintenant l'hymne national de l'Uruguay.
Stirring music, a striking setting. U20, Uruguay, USA. With the call, Nigel Reed and Craig Forrest.
Thank you so much, Scott. Welcome to the National Soccer Stadium in Toronto, where one of soccer's future stars will go home early tonight. The question is, will it be Freddie Adu or Edison Cavani? The respective captains of the USA and Uruguay, already seasoned pros in MLS and Serie A, but there are no rooms for both in the quarterfinals. USA, Craig, two changes.
Two changes in the goalkeeper. Obviously, Brian Perk, only 17 years old, takes over from the very strong Seitz, who has been playing very well in this tournament. Has it Charlie Hurst, he's out, and Julian Valentin, his centre back, will come in as well for Sakodi.
So Thomas Rundgren forced to make changes to his starting lineup, but the same can be said of his opposite number, the Uruguayan coach Gustavo Ferrin has made 4 changes, clearly reacting to that defeat in the final group game against Zambia.
And the goalkeeper Arrazabal comes in, Suarez in defense, and 2 midfielders, Sirocco and Luis Suarez, will start there because of that poor outing in their last group stage game.
It is a cool and very breezy night in southern Ontario, as you can see there by the flags waving, and the wind is blowing straight down the ground towards the lakeshore from north to south. There is Gustavo Ferrin, smile on his face, and all to play for. This has to be settled tonight. The group stages have come and gone. It's 90 minutes, and if that doesn't separate them, then it's extra time and penalties. Referee Ravshan Irmatov from Uzbekistan, a 29-year-old from Tashkent, who speaks not only Russian but English as well. It'll be interesting to see with what language he communicates, possibly with the South Americans. Here is the man of which so much is expected, Edison Cavani, already playing his pro football in Italy with Palermo in Serie A. Josie Altidore, scorer of those 2 goals against Brazil, to give the US an unexpected but deserved win. But who will be the winner here tonight? Cavani's already scored 2 goals in this tournament, and 3 Americans come into this match with 3 goals to their credit. Adu, Altidore and Danny Zetella, the Americans' top scorers in group play. But can they continue that into the knockout stages? Mr. Irmatov gets us underway. It's a great cheers, sizable crowd here in Toronto. Americans and Uruguayans in good voice. Bobby Rogers tumbled early there. The United States playing in the white tops, dark shorts, and the Uruguayans in a changed strip of red shirts and dark shorts. And attacking the goal to your left in this first half and into the setting sun. Cavani is looking for that. So they look to come forward. Both teams, of course, will want to get away to a good start. Sirocco, one of the 4 changes brought in by coach Ferrin for Uruguay, who started the tournament with a great deal of promise. They were 2 up on Spain in their opening group game, only to be pegged back to a 2-2 draw. Then they squeaked past the Jordanians by a goal to 0 and lost that final group match to Zambia 2-0, a game that finished 10-aside. Hence the enforced goalkeeping change for Uruguay. The Americans bring in Brian Perk, just 17 years old, and he may be tested here, because Chris Seitz has an injury. So huge test for the 17-year-old rookie goalie for the USA. As this ball will be swung in, right-footed. Cavani was quick to react, but didn't get a touch. The US headed half away. Rogers missed it completely. Might get another chance here. The referee's whistle goes for an infringement and an early free kick.
Well, for the US, it's going to be so important for them to keep that momentum going. Their confidence is riding high. Uruguay, not so much. It hasn't gone as well as they would have liked to this point, and they want to get some early momentum going themselves and put the Americans under some pressure.
Zetella there with an early touch. Describes himself as a holding midfielder, but has come up big in the offensive department with 3 goals in this tournament so far. It's sliced out of play. It'll be a US throw-in, which Tony Beltran will take. Takes it early. Bradley swings it in. It's gone all the way across. Altidore couldn't direct it. 14 of the 21 players on the American roster already fully fledged professionals, many of them with Major League Soccer clubs, including, of course, the star attractions, Adu and Altidore. They've certainly got up ahead of steam. Here is Altidore, goes inside his man, but that'll run through to Irarrázaval.
And Altidore, he's going to be the player in the future for the United States. He's 17 years old, playing for the New York Red Bulls alongside Juan Pablo Angel, Colombian legendary striker who's got off to a very good start. And you can't be learning his trade next to somebody much better than that at such an early age.
It'll be Juan Manuel Diaz with the throw. Inside for Suarez, one of the replacements. Altidore controls it on his chest. Looks for the run of Rogers, didn't quite get there. And now for the run of Cavani. He was marshalled by Nathan Sturgis. Cavani captaining the Uruguayans, very much their star name. And there's the youngster, 17-year-old Brian Perk. He's got the wind behind him in this first half, so he can expect plenty of distance on those clearances.
No doubt the biggest game in his career.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Easily controlled there. Sal Zizzo on this near side. He's had a great tournament so far, charging down this far side. Here goes Zizzo again. Set up a couple of goals for Adu. Still Zizzo gets it across. It'll come out to Beltran. Half away. And that's going to run away. Offside indeed against Rogers, but just reviewing a couple of those earlier American games, Sal Zizzo has a number of assists to his name already in this tournament, setting up the chances for Adu and Altidore.
The US have plenty of pace in their side. They'll be looking to use the flanks as much as they possibly can. They also change it up as well, looking direct in route one, looking over the top for the pacey Adu.
Cavani, well out wide. He might get a second chance here. He was brave. Shot came in, ricocheted away. Bradley will clear it. Forward they come again through Cardacio, the Uruguayans. Out to this near side to Diaz. Suarez couldn't keep it in. US throw-in, which Beltran will take. Not too many spaces here at the National Soccer Stadium. It's pretty well filled. That'll run all the way through to the keeper. Irarrázaval came in midway through the first half of their match against Zambia, after Goycochea was given a straight red card for a professional foul.
Yeah, and unlike the United States, who have clearly, as we haven't looked at the foul given against the United States here, the goalkeeper has played very well sights for the US, and really Goycochea has not played particularly well for Uruguay, so it's not such a loss for that team as it could be for the US. Perks is not the tallest goalkeeper in the world. You're going to look to see Uruguay test them right off the bat, you would expect.
Yeah, they know they've got a rookie goalkeeper in, and they will be pinging in those crosses early and often to see how the youngster deals with them. Now the referee is having a word with Anthony Wallace.
It's interesting, most games we've seen in this tournament, in the first few minutes, the first few free kicks we see, the referee is taking the time out to stop any shirt pulling before the free kick.
Here it comes, got a ricochet off the wall. It's come through to Cavani, who was first to react and managed to get his cross in, but Perks held on.
Yeah, well done to Perks, and also Cavani. Outstanding player, and you look at that, he got that cross almost back across the face of Perks from nothing. shows his great skill and ability and quickness on the turn.
Danny Zotella looking for Robbie Rogers on that far side. An early heads up for you, by the way. We'll be taking a much closer look at Edison Cavani at the interval in our future look, so do stay tuned for that. Danny Zotella will swing this one in that third of the field that is still bathed in the evening sunshine. Big men forward, looking to get in amongst it. Good swing on it. Keeper punched it. Well, he got good distance. Decided he didn't want to catch it.
Yeah, you'll see Uruguayan goalkeepers do that a lot, and it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I like to see goalkeepers hold on to it more times than not. You see how deep Uruguay are there. You like to see them holding out of the edge of the box a little bit more. But at the end of the day, he punches it clear to safety.
Freddie Adu with the cross. It's come all the way across and straight into the arms of the keeper from Altidore. First real chance of the game. Adu put it on a plate.
Yeah, it's very well crossed. Great ball in. Well attacked by Altidore as well. Lots of movement in the 18-yard box and quite comfortable for the goalkeeper.
Rogers on that far side, dispossessed momentarily. Battling back to regain possession, but it's the red shirts momentarily coming forward before they're stopped by Nathan Sturgis. The US have room on this far side. Sizzo, but it'll run away from him into touch for a throw to Uruguay, which Diaz will take. Looking up the line, Cavani trying to get involved. Altidore battling for possession, but rather too vigorously for the referee's liking. It'll be a free kick to Uruguay. Who's ringing around the stadium?
I can see why he was frustrated. There wasn't an awful lot in that. He's trying to be competitive and win the ball, and that's what he thought he did. But the assistant referee didn't think so.
Caceres to his fellow central defender, and then further wide to Diaz. Playing on the left-hand side of this back four. That's Caceres. Header away from Sturgis. Just for a little while, in that area of the field, the sun might just be a factor. Come all the way through. And it'll be a throw to the US. Beltran keen to get on with it quickly. Adu offering himself, goes backwards to Bradley. And that's skewed away into touch. And another throw to the Americans. Freddie Adu. Well, we thought so much of him coming into this tournament, and he's really come of age. Still only just 18 years of age, Freddie Adu. His third World Under-20 or World Youth Championships. Assistant referee's flag is raised.
And there's a lot of pressure on Freddie Adu too in this tournament because of the previous tournaments, as well as, you know, the money he's making and all the publicity in the Major League Soccer coming into it. It's you know, it's about time that Freddie Adu stood up. And to be fair to the young player, he's been brilliant in this tournament. Only scored 1 goal in MLS this year and 11 appearances for Salt Lake City. But this tournament so far will put him in good stead, certainly give him some confidence.
Tailor-made for the youngster. So it should be. The Uruguayans certainly aren't going to stand and admire his skill tonight. This is knockout soccer. Well, now is the referee going to have a look at his inside pocket there? Bradley was the offender. Trots away without being spoken to. But I'm sure the referee will have stored that one up if he transgresses again. So, free kick to the Uruguayans. Cardaccio standing over the ball, saying to the referee, that wall's nowhere near 10 yards away. The referee is in agreement. Cardaccio persuades him to push him down a couple more steps. Will Carraccio go for goal? Or swing it over to this near side?
See the American wall slowly creeping forward as the referee's trying to sort it out the edge of the box. They've come about 2 yards closer to when they started.
No surprises there. Carraccio still waits to take this free kick. What will he do? Got the impression he'll just chip it over the wall. He does indeed. Up go the heads. Only half away. And then a mess. And kicked away from the keeper twice. The American defence, as Perks tried to dive on it, and his teammates took it away from him. Well, untidy defending, but they've managed to clear their lines.
Yes, they did. And there's a great example of when you have a new goalkeeper go into your lineup, the defender's not sure what he's going to do and how confident he is.
And there's a man who will have noticed the uncertainty in the back four. Cavani waiting for his chance to pounce. Will it come in this game? Battling back by Carraccio. But the white shirts playing it to feet. Altidore slipped as he came for possession. Forward comes Diaz on a strong run. And the ball given away, it was easy for Wallace. "14 minutes gone. The National Soccer Stadium in Toronto. Round of 16 tournament play at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. USA in the white, Uruguay in the red. No goals yet. Altidore had a header supplied by Adu on target, but straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Now a stoppage briefly.
And it was a great challenge by Wallace, coming right across him, cleaning the danger out. Landed on the back of his leg, perhaps a little bit.
Sirako.
What a great challenge that is by the defender. That's how you defend.
Was the man who went to ground. The layoff. Shot from distance. It might fall for Cavani here. And the volley may still fall for Cavani. Can he get the cross? Went for the narrow angle. And only succeeded in hitting the side netting. He had a man in a decent position, but Cavani went for goal.
Cavani's got this ability to drift around the box, lots of movement. South American teams are historically good at that, interchanging of positions, and quick feet as well. He got some height and good in the air and all around. I mean, he was top goal scorer in the South American qualifying with 6 goals, already playing in the Serie A, breaking into the first team at Palermo. This is a player that we're going to see in the future, and a bright star for Uruguay in the future as well.
Zitella gave the ball away. Cavani indeed scored on his debut for Palermo. Scored on as a substitute and scored within the first 15 minutes. It's quite the start in the highly competitive world of Serie A football in Italy.
Nathan Sturgis taking a bump here from behind. Doing a good job concentrating on the ball, clearing it out, knowing that he was going to get a bump.
Arismendi was the man who pushed him over. Free kick to the States, which Perks will belt upfield, waving his defenders away. And he has got the benefit of the stiff breeze behind him in this first half as he kicks from left to right. I hate to see whether the wind will become a factor. Of course, there's a chance it may drop at half-time. Here's Cavani on the charge again. He's got 2 inside him. Plays it inside to 1. Still they go. And in the end, Zitella forced to concede the corner as Sirako. In fact, Suarez was closing in.
Zitella, good defending midfielder for Columbus Crew in the MLS, doing his work here as a midfielder, coming back, staying on his feet, and he has to make sure his timing of his tackle is perfect there. Otherwise, it would be a penalty.
Corner to Uruguay as they look to take the advantage. Doesn't clear the first defender. Siso missed it completely. And finally the call from Brian Perks as Beltran was about to belt it away. Robbie Rogers, those bright red boots, and rather gave it away there with Adu further outside him. Game hasn't really caught fire yet. Just that one chance to Altidore. But Cavani is already... That's going to be a foul.
That'll be a booking as well. Ältídoöre gets the better of him, and there comes the yellow card. And shirt pulling, we've seen that book just about every single time. Defender, a little bit lackadaisical, gets nicked, and there's a little pull on Ältídoöre. Down he goes, and we see our first yellow card of the game.
Hugo Arismendi is the recipient of that caution from the Uzbekistan referee, so he needs to be careful, and I'm sure his coach knows that as well. And the USA have a free kick on that far side, which Zitella swings in once again. Big man up there. The referee's whistle goes for an infringement. Sturgis got the first header. Up there as well was Bradley.
Good ball in. I think the foul was on Bradley coming across there. It looked like just a pretty decent challenge, but the referee was having none of it. Michael Bradley, the son of the American coach, played just about every single game, every single minute for the Americans in the Gold Cup. Got sent off against Canada in the latter stages of that tournament.
Uruguay, the third placed qualifiers, complete air kick there from Siso. Shooting from range, a little optimistic from Suraco. Never going to trouble Perks. Well, if you're joining us late and missed the lineups, we should tell you that Perks is one of two goalkeeping changes in this game. Chris Seitz on the 20-minute mark, not fit to start this game. So the 17-year-old from UCLA brought in at short notice for the biggest match of his life. Had to deal with one Cavani cross so far and looked solid. Referee's whistle goes again for the challenge on Marcel. Marcel. And the Uruguayans, well, they know how to mix it.
Yeah, they do, and you watch that, it was quite clever. Quite a few of the players getting around the referee, letting him know that he booked one of their players. Is he going to do the same for them? Just letting them know that they're aware of it.
Saros with the ball out wide. Looking once again. Cavani with the flick on. Almost got in behind. Sturgis was alert. But only half away. Strong in possession. Zitella got a foot in. It'll run away for a throw to the Uruguayans. Certainly competitive out there. Both teams aware of the challenge in front of them. Neither, of course, wanting to concede the opening goal. That's going to bounce away for another Uruguay corner. Their second of the night by my recollection. Which Luis Suarez will take on that far side, just in the shadows. It'll be a right-footed outswinger, pushing and shoving in the box. Suarez delivers. Arismendi got there, and then Suarez goes down. Zitella protests his innocence, but it'll make no difference to the referee's decision.
A good fast feet. Zitella, very hard-working player. As you can see that making his move toward him. Uruguay seeing that the momentum of Zitella is coming at him and just rolled off the side of him for a free kick.
So having taken the corner, Luis Suarez will now take the free kick. 10 to 15 yards closer to the goal. And the US have to concentrate here. They'll obviously look for Cavani. He didn't get there. But Diaz, I believe, did. Thomas Rongen, the USA coach, originally from the Netherlands, but has for many years made his home in the United States, played in the old NASL, the LA Aztecs and the Washington Diplomats.
Yeah, he's coached several MLS teams too. In fact, our former Canadian national team coach, Frank Yallop, a national team player, he was his coach in '96 when he made the move from the UK over to the then Tampa Bay Mutiny.
USA 0, Uruguay 0, just past the midway point of this first half. Chances at a premium so far, but both teams will be happy enough with that. Caraccio. Well, he was bundled out of it unfairly by Bradley.
He's going to get booked now too, because we've seen that happen the other way. And there's Bradley. Like I said a little earlier, he was sent off against Canada in the Gold Cup. Now has to be very careful on the yellow card. You see him burst past him. He's got the better, cut across him. That's what you do as a good player. There wasn't an awful lot to that though, was there, Nigel? I mean, they were working hard to get the U.S. book there, and they finally did.
Bradley on a yellow. Ball pumped into the box again. As Uruguay look to take the lead. The corner conceded by Beltran.
The longer this game goes on, you got to be feeling that Uruguay will be very happy knowing the Americans punch up front, scoring 9 goals so far in this tournament. Uruguay really stuttering along.
Suarez with the corner. Away by Zatella. He's back to Suarez.
Oh boy, they're working hard right around the box. Any kind of leg comes in, they will go down lightly.
Robbie Rogers, the offender this time.
There's very little contact there either. Have a look. Makes a good little turn, good feet, and very little contact. You see the frustration.
Rogers furious. He knows that his teammates are under pressure here. It'll be Suarez shaping to take it. Just outside the box, there you are. That's how close they are. Suarez on the near side.
I don't think that wall's set up. I think an inside, just inside the wall, the keeper's near post is wide open.
It'll be Suarez, just too high. Well, he got the right curl on it. He had Perk rushing across his goal line, but it was 6 inches too high. To Perk's relief, has a drink.
Well, the near post was on, but it would have been better for a left footer to drag it around the wall and draw it into the near post. Good effort just the same from Uruguay.
Great skill from the youngster. Perk will tell you he had it covered all the way, of course.
Of course.
No score in Toronto between US in the white shirts, Uruguay in the red. Throw in to the South Americans. Diaz takes up the line. And once again for Suraco, who goes down and wins yet another free kick. Under the challenge of Beltran. There he is. Marcel goes backwards to Kagelmacher, the other central defender. Cavani slipped there. Shots away along the edge of the penalty area. Looking for the long throw. That will be a corner. Trots Suarez again.
Well, Uruguay have had a whole stack of corners so far, but they've not tested that man yet. You would think they'd be wanting to put him right on top of him, see what he's made of. He's not the tallest goalkeeper, and it's windy.
Suarez ricocheted away, but this time ricocheted off a red shirt. And the Uzbekistan referee decided to goal kick. So relief for Perk and his defenders. Uruguayan fans here in their many thousands down below us. And a good voice. But as well, many American fans have made the journey.
Yeah, all the teams have been so well supported. It's been really terrific. Talking to FIFA officials before, and Walter Seibert, Canadian, who's been involved in FIFA and tournaments for 30 years, and this is 50th tournament, he figures. He said he has not seen one better organized than this tournament here in Canada. That's something to say.
Forward come Uruguay again. Suarez, who's having a great influence in this first half, to this near side to Diaz. Played behind him. Freddie Adu and Robbie Rogers are off to the races. Altidor's ahead of Rogers. He half went round him, but that, well, it seemed to ricochet back off him. Rogers went tumbling to the naked eye.
Yeah, Suarez, you can see he gets the ball first, he tackles, and he bangs it off him, and that looks bad. You see, watch this, he gets the ball first, bang, right there, gets the ball, and then the player, as the ball shoots away from the American, it looks as though it's a foul.
Rogers quickly up on his feet. Zatella again. He's had a couple from this distance. He swung into the area. Wow.
So what's happening here is Altidore in the box has been stood on, and he believes it was on purpose, and he knows that they're going to be after him, and now he's going to get a talking to.
But he's certainly limping. And he's, oh, there's the gesture to the referee, as you were quite rightly saying. He's saying somebody stamped on my foot. And by the way, the ref, it hurt.
Altidore knows they'll be after him right from the start. He talked about that in the press conference leading into this game.
So we resume. Zatella on that far side will swing another one in. All the way through to the goalkeeper, Irafabel. Too near the keeper that time. And Altidore, oh, I wonder whether he really is struggling.
Well, South Americans,
grimace there.
South Americans and Central Americans are clever in that area. Off the ball, walking around, little pinch in the back of the arms, stomp on your foot when you're walking around, trying to get you off your game. Very clever players that way. They're hard to spot too.
We've had half an hour of this round of 16 game between the USA and Uruguay. Toronto, no score. There have been, I wouldn't call them clear-cut chances, but there have been half opportunities at both ends.
I've been impressed with Uruguay, really, with their opening group stage matches and doing well against Spain, like you said. Nigel coming off 2-0 up, and Spain getting back to 2-2, but disappointing loss against Zambia for this team. Want to make that right tonight.
As we mentioned in our opening comments, Gustavo Ferrin certainly reacted to that by making 4 changes to his starting lineup, one of course enforced with the goalkeeping situation. Bradley stood his ground there against Suraco.
They also knew that playing up against Zambia in the last game, they were sitting on 4 points. They were well aware that they were going to qualify for the round of 16. However, you want to finish as high as you can, because most of the time you're going to play a lesser opponent, but I guess you got to beat everybody eventually.
Valentin to Sturgis, knocks it forward, looking for Altidore. The way through, cut off by Caceres. Now Kagelmacher, which is a very un-Uruguayan sounding name, but I promise you that's how it's pronounced. Gary Kagelmacher. That'll come all the way through to Brian Perk. As Diaz dashes back to his left back berth. Tony Beltran on this near side. To Bradley. Then to Zatella. Further left to Robbie Rogers. Couldn't keep it in. Momentarily I thought he had. The referee's whistle sounded for a throw to Uruguay. We did say in our opening remarks, on form so far in this tournament, you'd say that USA were the overwhelming favourites. But there's been nothing to choose between them so far, has there?
No, there isn't. You know, you put the pressure of being in the group knockouts, the knockout stages of the final group of 16. You know, teams traditionally will come out cagey, don't want to give anything away, don't want to make any mistakes, don't play as open as they normally would. But yeah, the U.S. with a 6-1 pounding of Poland, Adu with a hat trick, and then beating Brazil, the United States 2-1. Of course, they're riding on a high, but Uruguay here is doing a good job against the American attacking force so far.
Altidore won the throw-in, despite the protests of Caceres. I suppose when you've got results like that, it of course helps your confidence, but it doesn't necessarily make any difference when you run over the white line for the next match and it's 0-0.
No, that's true. But it does give you that extra little bit. There's no doubt about that, knowing that you have scored 9 goals in the group stage. Around and in around the 18-yard box, you got to feel that every time you have a pop, it's going to have a chance of going in.
Here's Freddie Adu with that captain's armband attached to his left arm. Swing it in left forward. Red shirts are there to clear. Among them, Arismendi. Adu has stayed out wide. And here is Freddie Adu. Teasing the defender. And the defender won out. To great cheers from the Uruguayan fans. Here's Cavani, who couldn't keep it in play. But a great ovation from the South American fans. But Diaz managed to dispossess Freddie Adu there, despite the tricks.
Well, that's it with Freddie Adu. If he doesn't get out of his feet early and get at defenders when it's one-on-one, they'll close him down as quickly as possible. And there's 2 Uruguayans coming across there to help out. And that's what happens. He has to be able to react much faster than that, Adu, to be able to get some space, because they know his ability at this level.
Bradley. Further wide. And Sturgis. Deciding on the long option for Sizzo. Keeper decided not to pick it up because it came off, I'm assuming, the defender. I was just glancing down at my notes for a moment. Bradley with the ball forward, but comes to nothing, and Tardaccio brings it away. Momentarily for Uruguay. Julian Valentin, one of 2 changes to the American starting lineup. Valentin back in his familiar central defensive role. And here's Sizzo again. Now, can he do any better than Adu did a moment ago? And he's got some help there from Danny Zatella. And then all the way through. It's easy enough for the goalkeeper. Altidore got the header in from the cross from Beltran.
Well worked by the States. 1 touch. First time ball in the box. Good run from Altidore. Unfortunately, from that distance out near post is going to be difficult to beat the goalkeeper.
So forward come Uruguay again. That far side. Slight slip there. Anthony Wallace concedes the throw-in. With Suarez up against him. Now it'll be the long throw. Perk needs to be alert. Suarez, Damian Suarez, with the number 7, went over there. Now, Luis Suarez is on the ground. In fact, that is Damian Suarez.
Have a look at this again. Very little contact, if any at all.
Leads to another free kick for Uruguay in a position of danger. Suarez will swing in. Big one, big boys up from the back. Diaz at the far post. Cavani looking to get on the end of it. And in the end it was Arismendi who got the header in, but couldn't control it. Goal kick toward the Americans.
There's been plenty of free kicks from both sides in and around that area. And both teams doing well with delivery, but so far very little as far as making contact and getting something solid on net.
It's been, as a result, something of a stop-start affair this first half. It's not been full of flowing football, has it?
Not at all. And I think that would suit Uruguay, as good as they are on the ball, but the Americans were using their pace. They want to stop the momentum and keep the pace of the game their own, and so far doing a good job in that department.
Ardacchio and Robbie Rogers there. Tangling. Yet another free kick for the US on that far side.
Look at how deep Uruguay are.
Which Zitella will swing in again. Arm raised. Won't get past the first defender. USA retain possession. Altidore didn't make much of a challenge for that, in all fairness. Valentin looking to that far side to Adu. Came streaking back, but lost out in possession. Siracco wins the throw for his team. Out to this near side. Now Ardacchio get all the way through. But once again, Luis Suarez making a nuisance of himself. The Uruguayan fans turning up the volume.
Yeah, just one touch. If you could have got around there, oh, and it just leaks away from him. Yeah, and Burks does well cleaning it up.
Meanwhile, at the other end, here's Bradley. Looking for Beltran. Valentin. Combining with Sturgis. Looking for Sizzo. Beltran again, battling well. But the red shirts bring it forward. Early ball forward. Siracco again was the target. But Wallace was in close attendance and he needed to be there.
Yeah, he's a good defender. He looks solid, very quick. Doesn't take any chances and has made 2 very good tackles in this first half for the US.
So more defending for Perk and his back line. As this first half draws to a close, we're inside the last 5 minutes now. It's noticeable in the last 5 to 10 minutes, most of the attacking moves have come from the red-shirted Uruguayans. Altidore a little frustrated with the decision. Ardacchio. Forward they come. Siracco. Taken away by Rogers at the expense of another throw-in. Juan Siracco. Here he is again, Siracco, trying to turn his man. Can he get a decent ball across? Slipped at the wrong moment. Made it easy for Bradley to clear his lines. And now an early break. Adu and Altidore on the charge. The Uruguayan fans heaving a sigh of relief as the move is closed down. Suarez.
Oh boy, oh boy. Look at these guys go down very lightly.
Oh, and Perk hesitated and nearly hesitated his team into trouble. The Uruguayans sense the American defensive frailties. Cavani combining with Marcel. Roman Marcel, the ball across. And anywhere will do, just for the moment, for the Americans. And I don't think this is going to be a 6-1 game. Robbie Rogers giving chase. Goes round his man, he's got room now. He's got Adu and Altidore ahead of him. Played the early ball. And he had time to hold it a little longer. And he'll regret that.
Yeah, the Americans attack with pace, one-touch passing, and sometimes they could take a little bit more time in and around the box. They want to release players very quickly because of their pace.
Referee telling Robbie Rogers, I think, to calm down.
I tell you, one player that referee should be watching is this number 7, Cardaccio. Have a look at this player. Are you kidding me? And he's down on the ground rolling around, and the referee, that's sort of a thing. If the referee has a wrong angle, he will be giving bookings for that. He should be giving one for simulation diving for that player. He's done it 2 or 3 times already. Keep an eye on number 7.
Valentin, number 16 for the USA. To Bradley. Then to Zatella. Looking for Beltran. Here's Sizzo. They're lining up. It's come to Beltran. Oh, he tried the clever back heel. And maybe he should have just charged at the red shirts and had a go himself. But the Americans retain possession through Bradley. Altidore. It's wide. But he's gone for a corner. Did take a deflection. So you see Altidore getting his sight set and wanting to beat that man. Irazabal.
Both keepers in for the backup keepers in. Neither one of them really been tested.
Freddie Adu down below us on this near side will take this left-footed corner into the teeth of the breeze. It's certainly not come down. Adu all the way across. It's long. Rogers was the nearest, but he didn't get close. But it has drifted away for an American throw on that far side. As Caceres makes his way back. "30 seconds left in this first half, plus whatever injury time the referee decides to add. There's been precious little of that. I can't remember a stoppage in this first half of any note. Maybe a minute.
Yeah, they usually allow at least a minute. But no, there hasn't been much of a stoppage.
I've got to make the fourth official do his duty and hold the board up, even if it's just 1 minute. But I can't remember a significant stoppage. And nor can the referee. Mr. Irmatov blows his whistle right on the 45-minute mark for the end of the first half, which has ended scoreless. And Freddie Adu and Josie Altidore, well, they've had better nights. They've had to work hard tonight. Haven't broken down the red-shirted Uruguayans thus far, who've come close themselves in the form of Luis Suarez, whose curling free kick just brushed the top of the net. But 6 inches lower might have been the opening goal. It wasn't. We're at the half here in Toronto. It's the USA 0, Uruguay 0. Back inside to the boys and Scott Russell.
From FIFA U20 World Cup of Soccer, we'll return to the National Soccer Stadium now. Second half, USA Uruguay. Here are Nigel Reid and Craig Forrest.
Scott, thank you so much. First thing to tell you is that we have nothing to tell you in terms of half-time substitutions, so it's as you were. No goals, no apparent half-time replacements. USA playing in white shirts, Uruguay in red. It is the Uruguayans who will get us underway in this second half, kicking from left to right in this second period. I fancy the wind may just have dropped a little, just looking at the flags away to the south end of the stadium. But what breeze there is, young Brian Perk will be kicking into in this second half. So let's see how much distance he gets on these kicks.
Well, watching him in the warm-up, he's got a very good strike on him, so I don't think he's going to have any trouble.
Plenty of distance on that one. As Caceres pumps it downfield.
What he will have to be aware of is the through balls now will carry much easier, and sometimes that part of the game is easier for a goalkeeper. When you're facing the wind, the ball will just keep coming towards you. In the first half, it'll hold up. Much more difficult to judge when the ball's been driven into the wind as a goalkeeper. Depth perception. Is it going to reach the edge of the box? Is it not? My defender going to get there? Is he not? See how the goalkeeper at the other end does.
Michael Bradley looking for the through ball. Dealt with by Caceres. And then Cardaccio. Freddie Adu was in quickly. Knocked out by Bradley. He ran away for a throw-in, as Beltran couldn't keep it in. Diaz takes The throw. Belted away by Sturgis. To the evening sky. Referee not happy with that challenge, and I'm not sure Jose Altidore is either. He may be in a bit of trouble. The challenge came in from Caceres. And Altidore is down and clutching that left knee. He may need some treatment here.
It was a tough, strong challenge. Come around there, and it's definitely a free kick.
Put him on the back, on the sort of left calf, I suppose, didn't it?
Doesn't seem to be doing too well at the moment.
Still on the ground, just on that opposite touchline from our broadcast booth. The stretcher is being brought out.
Well, he's only got to roll about 6 inches and he'd be off the pitch. I don't know what the stretcher, they always bring that out anyway because he still is on the field, I guess, technically.
His right arm might be. But he certainly appears to be in some distress, Jose Altidore, after that challenge from Martin Caceres. So a lengthy stoppage here, right at the start of the second half. And Altidore has certainly felt that challenge. Play is going to go on without him. Keeper comes, and Irarrázaval catches confidently. Looked for Suraku, but it didn't reach him. Here's Wallace for the US. Still Wallace. Bounces off one challenge, and now Robbie Rogers wins himself a corner. And Altidore, out of your picture, is still receiving attention on that far side where he was fouled. Freddie Adu trotting over to take the corner. And there is Altidore, very gingerly getting to his feet. Play goes on. Adu will take this corner, left-footed. Big men are up. Didn't get past the first defender. The red shirts have a chance to break. On that far side with Suarez. He's run away for a throw-in. Altidore is finally ready to resume. He's limping a little. Now I wonder whether he can run it off. I'm sure he'll try to. Nathan Sturgis for the United States. To Anthony Wallace, his left-back position. Zatella. Back to Valentin.
Altidore is now on the ground again, right in midfield, and he is not at all in good shape.
Wallace has knocked the ball out into touch as a result.
And the referee's going to ask him to get up after coming back on.
The physio, who was stranded over on that far side, has rushed back to Altidore's aid, and the stretcher is in hot pursuit. And this may be the end of Jose Altidore's work for the evening. He trotted back onto the field, but made only 30 yards before he ended up on the deck once again.
So now Thomas Rongen, the American manager, has a decision to make. Plenty of players warming up, and we're going to see a substitution, and Altidore will be coming off by the looks of things.
Yeah, no question that there is going to be a substitution here, and it's going to be Andre Akpan, I believe, who will come on for the USA as Altidore is helped away.
And that's not good news for the United States. 3 goals in this tournament already. 2 against Brazil in their victory against the Brazilians, US.
Well, Andre Akpan is his replacement. He is a striker, but he's untested. His first appearance in this Under-20 World Cup for Andre Akpan. Number 20. So that's a huge blow, potentially, for the US right at the start of this second half. Presumably Akpan will go up front alongside Adu. I wonder whether Freddie Adu will...
And that's a challenge right there.
That's the one that did it.
On Altidore, sees the end of his night.
There he is, just explaining to the physio exactly where it hurts and how serious potentially the damage is. Meanwhile, free kick to Uruguay. Suarez will swing in from this near side. Big red shirts funneling forward. Poor free kick, poor delivery from Suarez. He may get a second chance. And ricocheting back off the head of Rogers. A throw in once again to the South Americans. This time Suarez, Damian Suarez takes it. There are two Suarezes on the field of play for Uruguay. Robbie Rogers, the other number 8 though, battling his way forward. Marcel Roman half stops him. Here's the new man, Andre Akpan. Surako trying to find a way around Wallace. Cavani's in the middle. That's wayward and won't get anywhere near him. All the way across. The US have time and space to clear their lines. Sizzo. Field to Bradley. To Wallace on this near side. Given away. Here's Surako, who teased them down the right side in that first half. Rogers has it momentarily for Wallace. And then Sturgis. Asking a lot of Rogers, but he controlled that well. There's room on this near side for Adu, who's still playing in a relatively wide position. No foul, says the referee. Adu thought there might have been, but nothing doing. Cavani battling there to no avail. Wallace strong in possession, but the ball just floated out of play. There's going to be a second substitution here for the US in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. And Dax McCarty's going to come on to replace Sal Zizzo. So midfielder for midfielder. So 2 replacements in quick succession for Thomas Rongen. 1 enforced and 1 we assume tactical. Bradley trots away, having conceded the foul.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Rongen does now up front. Will he keep the 2 up there? Adu will come a little deeper, leave Akpan up by himself perhaps. It'll be interesting to see how these teams deal with this.
Uruguayans turn up the noise to come all the way through though to Brian Perk.
The United States losing Altidore, their star player, will that mentally affect their ability to have belief, or will it, on the other hand, Uruguay know that Altidore was one of their star players and they've got him out of the game now? Will that lift them and give them the lift that they need to get on the score sheet?
Pam. Back to Zitella. He tried his luck from distance. Got the shot away, but was forced to hurry it. Danny Zitella, 3 goals in this tournament so far. No doubt keen to add to that tally here tonight. That, I believe, is the leg of Josie Altidore. I guess that's being wrapped in ice, is it?
Yes, it is. I think he's been brought to tears as well. Missing out on a big opportunity here in the round of 16.
New York Red Bull striker. Scored plenty of goals in Major League Soccer, but clearly couldn't continue after that challenge from Caceres. Wallace. Sturgis forced it all the way back to his keeper Perk, who just for a moment looked hesitant, but did enough to clear his lines. Got a fall to Bradley. Zitella again. Pam thought about coming to challenge and then didn't. Hagelmarker. Long ball forward. Once again, Perk equal to the challenge. Zitella. Suarez looked dangerous once more. It looks as though Freddie Adu has drifted infield. As forwards comes Cavani, took it first time and he's wide. Well, that's what Edison Cavani will do. had the confidence in his own ability to go first time. He had a little time.
Yeah, and Perks was back trotting, trying to get back in the goal, and it was a good idea, and I really fancied that he would hit the target. Dipping like that, you can hit the top of the net with that dipping volley. That's almost unstoppable.
Will he be the hero tonight? Edison Cavani. 2 goals in this tournament so far. Referee's whistle goes again. Free kick to the US. Gustavo Ferrin, the Uruguayan coach. I'm sure he'll have been happy to see the back of Jose Altidore.
That's right. He'll be very happy the way this team played too. Exactly, keeping this game, his game plan in the works exactly the way he'd wanted to do it. Disrupt the momentum of the Americans, contain their star players, Altidore and Adu, and so far they've done that.
Throw into the US, down below us on this near side. Wallace chips it forward, looking for the run of Adu. Over the head of Bradley. And on the charge on that far side, Suarez again, but it'll run away for another throw-in, which Tony Beltran will take. Rather like the first half, it's been a little scrappy in the opening 12-13 minutes of this second half. Both teams, I think, aware that the first goal is the all-important one. Might sound a little naive to say that, but should a team score now, there would be plenty of time. It would certainly open the game up. But both teams knowing exactly what's at stake here. Place in the quarterfinals against Austria or Gambia is the prize. Second half of that game, by the way, in Edmonton, Austria leading by 1-0.
Gambia is down to 10 men in that game. Austria in control.
The game, by the way, will take place here in Toronto on Saturday afternoon, that quarter-final. So one of these teams in front of us are coming back. Anthony Wallace for the United States. Plays it for Adu, then to Rogers. Gave Wallace too much to do. Free kick to Uruguay. Ravshan Ianatov, match referee. Rogers the aggressor there against Suraku. Chip forward again. Suraku again, wraps his foot round it. Defender was facing his own goal, looked a little nervous but did enough. Suraku again on this near side.
Good goalkeeping.
Bradley just got the important touch in there to take the pace off the ball. Suraku, those yellow boots, and Cavani with the yellow armband. Had good games so far. Solid. There's another man, Danny Sotella, who's also got himself well involved. Out to this far side to Robbie Rogers, who's had no luck on the left flank for the USA. Driakpan on as a striker. Yet to get up to the pace of the game. Here's Rogers. Bradley further inside to Zetella. Looking wide. But once again, the move breaks down. Dax McCarty.
See, the passing of the Americans has not been what it was against the Brazilians, that's for sure. When you're trying to switch the play like that from Zetella, to leave the ball playable for your teammate. Drilled it at him about 100 mile an hour, head height.
To which the response is, thanks, pal.
That's right.
No score.
Deal with that one.
Just past the hour mark at the National Soccer Stadium in Toronto. Nightfall over the city. And stalemate continues between the USA and Uruguay. Reminding you there has to be a winner here. That could mean 30 minutes of extra time. And it could then mean the lottery of a penalty shootout. Kagelmacher was a little vigorous there in the challenge. Monadou, he picks himself up and will take the resultant free kick. So Adu calling the shots from a deeper position. They haven't had too many opportunities offensively. Go the heads this time. Half away by Caraccio. Sturgis trying to keep the move going. And then Beltran was dispossessed. And then Dax McCarty brought down his man. Referee says play on. And then there's a ricochet. McCarty. Referee having a word for the challenge with Danny Zatella.
Zatella's having a word with the referee as well, letting him know that the player went down late.
I think it might have been Luis Suarez. Flipped on. Initially by Siracco. Mendy is in close attendance. Need to get forward when he can. It'll be Damian Suarez with the throw. Siracco half controlled it, but Wallace thumped it away for yet another throw-in. Well, you can understand that it's tense, but it's, in all honesty, from a neutral's point of view, not exactly a spectacular game of soccer as yet, is it?
No, it's had very little flow to the game, for sure. And you look at Uruguay, and what they've done has been a great job on the United States for themselves going offensively. To get the ball to Cavani is very important, and when they do that, he's very dangerous, and that's by using wide positions and shifting the ball around and switching it very quickly. But we haven't seen them be able to get the ball into areas of delivery into Cavani very well yet.
Forward they come again, the white shirts. Bradley to Zatella. He's got room in front of him. Could have run, but chose to go wide. Once again, another US move of potential comes to nothing. The red shirts of Uruguay now, they've got 3-on-3 momentarily here. Cavani ahead of him. This is Siracco. And the ball continued to run through. It's gone out for a corner. And it was Marcel Roman who was making a nuisance of himself. And suddenly the volume all around the stadium is up by 25%.
See, that's what happens when Uruguay move the ball sharp and quick like this. That's the sort of plays that opens up defenders. Good defending by the United States, but much better in their passing and their quick passing by Uruguay that time.
Corner to Uruguay. Is this the opening goal? Suarez takes it. Go the heads. It's fallen to Siracco. Rogers got a foot in, an important one. It's only half away. It's fallen to Cavani. The run through harmlessly to Brian Perk. Just too many white shirts. Cavani to negotiate. Uruguayan fans in good voice. Whenever their team go forward, they urge them on. The noise level in the stadium increases dramatically. Danny Zatella trying to spray one out to this near side. It's meant for Rogers, who had to go up and challenge for it, and has won himself a free kick under the challenge of Caraccio, who says, "What did I do, ref? I got the elbow." "No, you didn't," says the referee. Waves him away. Free kick to the US. Coach can't believe it either.
That was an interesting call. Very interesting call.
Caraccio clearly indicating to the referee that Rogers was leading with his elbow.
Yeah, 6 of one, a half dozen of the other.
The result is a US free kick, which Zatella will take. Curled in, easy for the keeper. Jonathan Irafable finds Siracco. And Arismendi. Siracco again. He's got Cavani ahead of him. It might fold for Cavani. Oh, Cavani might be in here. Did he keep it in? No, he didn't. It's a corner to Uruguay. Brian Perk thought he did. Linesman said he didn't. So more defending for the US as the noise level rises again. Edison Cavani sniffs glory here. Suarez, right-footed. Poor delivery, in all truth. It's a goal kick. Cavani screaming at the officials.
I think he's screaming at his player there for the delivery.
I was going to say, and his teammate as well.
Well, they've had 6 quarters so far, and the quality of them into the 18-yard box has been very poor from Uruguay.
So danger passes once again. 67 minutes gone of the contest. And midway through this second half. And the deadlock still to be broken between the United States and Uruguay. As force comes Suraco again in front of a sellout crowd of 19,500 here at the National Soccer Stadium. There were 1 or 2 spaces when the game kicked off. Just glancing around the stadium now, I can count maybe a dozen seats that are vacant. Terrific support for the contest. Freddie Adu, he knows that without Altidore, the responsibility is now squarely on his shoulders if his team is to advance.
And so far has done very little in this game. He's worked hard to try to get on the ball, but Uruguay have just closed him out whenever they've had the opportunity to do. But good players always find the ball. It's up to Freddie Adu to lead his team like he has done so far in this tournament.
Andre Akpan really yet to make an impression in this game, and that's going to run away for a goal kick to Uruguay. I beg his pardon. It's not. It must have got a deflection. It is a corner. So Freddie Adu, it's time to do something for the US captain. Take this left-footed. Up go the heads. The keeper stayed at home. Suraco cleared his lines as far as Sturgis. Well, meant for Adu, but he would have needed wings to catch that one. Adu urging his players to close down the spaces, defend high up the field.
Well, they're good at that, you see, and Adu knows that. When they put pressure on teams, close them in, don't let them get out easily. That's when the Americans can cause trouble. That's typically their style of play. It's almost like a full court pressure. It's just put pressure on opposition and try and create something that way, because they've done very little in open play to create their own chances.
And here noise, the fans doing their best to rouse both these teams. Throw into the US. Bradley looking for Rogers. Half controlled it and fell over his man. Robbie Rogers. As the wave makes its way round the National Soccer Centre. I think we missed it when it came past us.
Well, won't miss it next time. Trying to urge these teams on.
They are. They're trying to make some noise inside the stadium, because the game, as we said a moment or two ago, is not much of a spectacle. Plenty of noise inside the stadium, but it's really not a reflection of what's going on out there. Ryan Kirk organising.
In all fairness, it really needs a goal, doesn't it, Nigel? It would just spark things and open things up, and both teams
Desperately needs a goal at either end. Marcel Roman stands over the ball. 3 in the wall. Roman chipped it in. Up go the heads. It's too high. Just too high. Good delivery. Suarez. Was making a nuisance of himself.
Maybe we're getting a little bit closer. Good opportunity there. Just can't seem to get it on target. They've had lots of chances. Good ball delivered in there, just swinging up. Wow, it's just...
Suarez did his best, but I think it came off his left ear, in all fairness.
It did.
Well, stalemate here in Toronto, and we're hearing that out in Edmonton they're all square as well. In that other round of 16 game, Austria against Gambia, that is now 1-1. Remember, the winners of this game will play the winners of that game. So can't choose a winner in either contest at the moment. Roman looking to Scioracco, good ball, and then for Cavani, trying to take it first time, nothing doing. Scioracco again, tried the back heel, was a little too fancy. Wallace, some hurried defending there. Adaccio, Cavani again. Mendy, Scioracco, and Wallace again, safety first. Belts it away for another throw-in to the red shirts of Uruguay. And Scioracco had a great influence on this game. Fans know that a goal could change it all. All the way across to Cavani. Oh, there's the opening goal for Uruguay. It's Suarez. Cavani with the header. Suarez couldn't believe his luck. His Perk fumbled it. And the youngster's been beaten. And Uruguay have the lead over the USA in Toronto. Is that the goal that takes Uruguay into the quarterfinals? They lead the Americans by 1-0.
Well, have a look at this. If this develops, have a look at this play. A little swivel turns, hits it to Cavani. He's going to make the keeper work very hard. It drops right to him, and he can't miss from there. Surely as Perks cannot get his hands on it the second time. Good ball in, knowing where Cavani is. Cavani really does test Perks. Good save initially. And while the tap in from 3 yards, he wasn't going to make any mistake from there. Well done, Uruguay, 1-0. There's the bench's reaction from there.
17 minutes remaining in the contest. Luis Suarez, his second goal of these under-20 championships. And I don't believe he could believe his luck, because the header was down from Cavani, but Perk will be desperately disappointed that he didn't hold on to it.
Well, that's it. You know, you do make saves like that, and sometimes it's just out of your reach, but in all fairness, you really would like to hold on to something that close to you. But credit to Uruguay for doing their bit. Cavani making the keeper stretch him, and then well followed up for Uruguay. And now we're going to see what the game needed was a goal. We've got that. Now we've got to see the Americans come out of their shell and start to do something, because they really are stuttering along here, not playing well at all.
Rogers with the ball in, looking for the substitute Akpan. Referee says play on. Nothing wrong with that. So Luis Suarez.
Good ball in, well marked as well. Good defending. Akpan falling on top of him after the fact. The Americans' problem really has been, a lot of times in this age group, you do see it, the inconsistency in how they started this tournament off against Korea Republic. Did not play well in a 1-1 draw. Then they exploded with 2 very good performances against Poland and Brazil. And not doing very well here against Uruguay up to this point, but they're going to have to show their best now if they're going to get into it with 15 minutes remaining.
Danny Zatella. The States have now committed to going forward. They can't sit back now and bide their time. They've got to find an equaliser. They've got 15 minutes to do it. Julian Valentin. Interesting dilemma. They do have to score, but they don't necessarily need to go gung-ho at this stage, because if they conceded a second, it would surely be game over.
Yeah, and will Uruguay sit back into a shell and try and just hang on for the last 15 minutes or so? And now the Americans have drawn a free kick down below.
Bobby Rogers.
And there's a light one as well. Over. Rogers went down lightly.
And Suarez, the other number 8, was the offender. Freddie Adu. This is a test, a real test of his leadership qualities, how he can inspire those around him. He'll take this free kick. The US skipper. Keeper comes. Valentin was in there. It's only half away. McCarthy chips it back in, but it'll roll harmlessly away. Dax McCarthy.
And we'll see a lot of, should I say, feigning of injuries, possibly. I mean, he was hit, the goalkeeper, but they will stay down. And I don't think this will be the first time or the last time that we see this from a Uruguayan in the next 15 minutes or so. They'll do whatever it takes to kill the time off the clock. I'd expect we're going to see some time added on, quite a bit of it at the end of this 90 minutes.
Irizarry is the player receiving attention, and while he gets some running repairs, the USA players to a man trotting to this near side.
I must say, though, good goalkeeping. The ball was whipped in. Watch how he attacks it. The goalkeeper keeps his eye on the ball and nothing else. He knows he's going to get hit. He attacks it, gets it clear, punches it. And where he's hurt and where he got hit are two different places. He'll be just fine.
Julian Valentin was the central defender, well forward, who collided with Irizarry. But as you rightly said, he's been administered the magic sponge and is ready to carry on with the game. Over the head of McCarthy. Forward comes Suarez again, that far side. Suarez got round one. Can he keep it in? He can. Oh, it's run away from him. It's run away from him. I thought he was round the defender, and he had Cavani begging to have the ball played into his path, but Suarez either ran out of steam or the ball ran away from him. Just couldn't keep it from running over the dead ball line.
That was a little sloppy by him, by Suarez.
"12 minutes to play at the National Soccer Stadium in Toronto. Uruguay lead the United States by a 1-0. Luis Suarez benefiting from a mistake from young Brian Perk, young 17-year-old American goalkeeper. Can they find a way back into this match? Juan Suraco down this near side, upended by Wallace. There are two of them on the deck. That's Suraco. He's up quickly. One of his teammates is also down.
See you here. Foul against the Americans. Skips by him. There he sees the ball, and now he doesn't. That is a foul.
Can't complain about that challenge. So another offensive opportunity for the Uruguayans, which Matthias Cardaccio will take. Two in the wall. Swings it over. Up go the heads. Perks punches. And Akpan completes the clearance. One for Wallace to do indeed to race after, but beats him to the touchline. Thomas Rongan. Well, he's made two substitutions. He's only got one more replacement.
And it's going to happen pretty shortly as well. He needs to get something going. Time is running out. The Americans will make a change. Throw a last roll of the dice, perhaps.
Just down below us, Gabe Ferrari, I believe, is warming up. And here comes the substitution. Beltran, the right back, is coming off. And Gabe Ferrari, who's currently with Sampdoria in Italy, just 17 years old. Ferrari.
This is his first appearance in the World Cup as well, so with him and his partner up front, Akpan, between them have not played a minute up until this game tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how these two players play with each other. But again, Thomas Rongan forced really to do these changes, to make some changes to get something going, and we're going to also see Uruguay perhaps making a substitution to counter that attack by the U.S.
Well, Ferrari has got 10 minutes to keep his team, or help keep his team, in the Under-20 World Cup. One of the Uruguayan replacements, as you rightly say, warming up down below us out of your shot. Meanwhile, the Uruguayans go on with Roman and Suarez. McCarthy managing to get the throw in. There he is, Dax McCarthy. And it's Tabare Viudez, I think, who's going to come on in a few moments' time when there's a break in play. We'll address that when we get to it. Sturgis conceding the corner. Will they wait for the corner before making the substitution? Thomas Rongen knows time is against his team. Brian Perk knows he's got to stay strong and forget about the error which led to the goal. As the Uruguayans prepare to swing one in again from that far side. But it came off initially, the header from Zetella. The Americans survive once again. Now Robbie Rogers on this near side, looking for the run of Edu. Freddie Edu with two men in close attendance, bundled over. Corner, says the referee. Edu says I was fouled. The referee says you can have a corner. Edu scuttles along to the corner quadrant.
Edu also looking to win a free kick or possibly a penalty here. It certainly wasn't a corner, and I don't think it was a foul either. Corner,
well, the corner is the result.
This will be their fourth corner of this game, and they are yet to get a shot on target here in the second half. Both shots coming in the first half.
And before the substitution, before the corner, the substitution will take place. And Luis Suarez, the goal scorer for Uruguay, leaves the field to a standing ovation from the Uruguayan fans, and replaced by 17-year-old midfielder Tabare Budes. Corner is taken. McCarthy swung in again. Oh, it's come all the way through, has it? Oh, marvellous save. Stuck onto the boots, couldn't get it past the goalkeeper. Irazabal did enough with his feet as the white shirts were closing in, and it might have been McCarthy with the shot.
And the Americans finally get one on target, and Irazabal with a great save. The backup goalkeeper not starting in any of the other matches, coming on for suspended teammate Goicoechea, coming out with a great save right at his feet, down low, goes almost down into a butterfly position to make the save. He does enough.
Michael Bradley had the shot, I beg his pardon, and that's as close as the US have come in this second half. Whistles around the stadium as Cavani is bundled over, but play goes on. Throw in to the US. 6 minutes plus stoppage time for them to find an equalizer. Meanwhile, in Edmonton, Austria in front against the Gambia. Austria lead in Alberta. Uruguay lead in southern Ontario. Is that going to be the way it finishes? Will they meet each other in the quarterfinals? Or are there other twists and turns in the closing minutes in these round of 16 games? The Gambia and the US both needing a goal, and needing one quickly. Anthony Wallace letting fly. Collected. Bradley. Zetella stepped on it. And Cavani might be away here. Cavani. Still Cavani. Too high. Well, he got away. He was spotted quickly. He can shoot with either foot.
Yeah, just the way he moves around, drags off people. A terrific ball as well to him. And as he drives, he's strong. And you're right, he is good with 2 feet. Unfortunately, that time his left foot strike goes over the bar.
Infringement by the white shirts. And another free kick to Uruguay, of which they will be in no great hurry to get on with. Irazabal pulled off a fine save a couple of minutes ago. Looking for Suracao on this near side. But Wallace beats him to it and wins the throw. Forward they come again. Valentin belts one forward. Edu gets the corner. Gustavo Ferrin screaming at his players to concentrate. He knows there are 4 minutes left. Edu with the corner. It's come all the way through to Zetella. Oh, it's going to go in, is it? Oh, it has gone in. it's the equalising goal. It's the young substitute, Andre Akpan. He's done very little in this match so far, but with 3.5 minutes left on the clock, the 19-year-old from Harvard University has scored a priceless equaliser for the USA. We're back where we started. It's 1-1.
Well, they have their 5th corner of the match. It bounces up. Questionable whether it hit his hands, Zitella, but he drives it across the goal. Perfectly played. That's what you do as a player. When it falls to you, you drive it back across. If the goalkeeper gets a touch on it, it's going to come back into it. You can see the touch there. There was a little bit of a handball. Ball to hand, perhaps, and the last touch comes to Akpan, or was it the defender? It doesn't matter to the U.S. They're back in the game, 1-1.
Akpan claimed the goal. I don't think he touched it. I think it's an own goal from Cardaccio. I'm pretty sure the Uruguayan midfielder Matthias Cardaccio got the final touch.
Well, he could do little else. They knew Akpan would have touched it into the net anyway. They are giving the goal to Akpan.
They are giving it to Akpan. He certainly celebrated as though he'd got a touch, but I'm not convinced he did. The statistic, though, that really counts is that the goal stands and the ball rolled over the line. With 3.5 minutes remaining in normal time, the USA are back on terms. Goal kick to Uruguay. There he is. What a memorable entrance into these World Under-20 World Cup finals.
Here it is again. He drives it across. Look at that ball. Really well played. Nothing the goalkeeper can do as you see the defender come in, and I think you've got it spot on, Nigel. I believe that's an own goal, but it doesn't matter. Akpan's positioning on that was the reason why they scored the goal, and Zitella's ball across the face of the goal was perfectly played.
Well, we wait to see what the official FIFA verdict will be as far as the goal scorer is concerned. For my money, it's Cardaccio who got the last touch. But 1-1 it is, and there's 90 seconds left of the 90. There's going to be a considerable amount of stoppage time. We've had a number of injury interruptions. Siracco, Suarez, Damian Suarez throws it, looking for Arismendi. Zitella was in quickly to concede the corner. It's their time for a winner here. 1-1. Inside the last minute of normal time. Cardaccio swings it across. Up go the heads. It's thrown all the way through. Half away. Siracco had the shot. Swung back in again. Oh, it's off the post. It's off the post and away. And that's how close they got. And it was Diaz, I think, with the head up, which Perk knew nothing about.
What a ball in as well. Back stick, and watch him charge at this. He's coming in, and he can't believe it's come off the post. The goalkeeper, Perks, would have no chance with that. Very well attacked. Good header, keeps it down. Just can't quite get it inside the post. Unlucky to Uruguay.
Meanwhile, in that skirmish, one of the USA players took a knock. It was indeed.
It was Diaz. That certainly would have ended the game, most certainly, for the U.S.
Sturgis took the knock. Stretcher on the pitch. Sturgis makes his own way to the dead ball line. Cardaccio, I'm being told, is now, as we rather thought, being credited with that own goal officially. So we got it right, we're pleased to say. I'm sure the Uruguayans wouldn't thank us for it.
They won't care if they win this game still, but it's never nice to have an own goal on your record. But like I said before, I mean, it would have been Akpan's goal if he didn't try to do something, and it was all desperation time at that moment for Cardaccio.
Uruguay, having hit the post, can sense that there may be time to win it.
Cardaccio has thrown his elbow out.
Zitella's gone down.
And it's interesting because Cardaccio has been diving around, and Zatella has been caught here with an elbow, but very lightly. I will say that much. Cardaccio has been asking for this because he's a diver himself, and this is very light. Watch the elbow come up, barely touch him, but he's getting a little bit of his own medicine right there. Very lightly. He's touched him, down he goes. Well, Cardaccio would have done the same because we've seen him do it 3 or 4 times. He's going to stay on the park. He's fortunate. Don't like to see that from the Americans, but Cardaccio, well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Play goes on. No further action from the referee. 1-1. We have played almost a minute of stoppage time. Thrown in. Air shot from Rogers. Ball still in a dangerous position. Ricocheted off Cavani, straight into the hands of Brian Perk. And in all that skirmish, my view was diverted. I didn't see how many minutes were added in stoppage time. One it remains. Is there time for a winner here? The red shirts again, sensing victory. These closing seconds. Free kick to the US. That'll come as a relief to them. As Viudez trots away, the substitute. Dax McCarty does likewise. Brian Perk will belt this one upfield. But unless we have a finish of high drama, we are going into extra time here in Toronto. We are going into extra time here in Toronto. 3 minutes have been played. Mr. Irmatov blows the whistle for the end of full time. And 2 goals in the last 18 minutes. Firstly from Luis Suarez on 73, and then an own goal with 3 minutes left from Matthias Cardaccio. Means that we are tied at 1-1. Brian Perk and his teammates get another life and another 30 minutes. It's 1-1, extra time's on the way. Back inside to the boys and Scott Russell.
Yes, Nigel, wild finish. USA survives to fight extra time. We'll look at key moments, then get back to play when FIFA U20 continues on CBC. Yes, here are Nigel and Craig.
Thank you so much. As we watch the coin toss for the start of this extra time period, Freddie Adu and Edison Cavani. Well, we said at the top of the show, one of these future stars of world soccer is going home tonight. They're not going home early. 30 minutes of extra time to be played, and it will be the USA in the white shirts to get us underway in this first period of extra time. In the white shirts, 1-1 it is here. As a result of those goals late in the game from the USA, originally Luis Suarez no longer on the field, replaced for the Uruguayans, but they've only used one substitute. Whereas the USA have used all 3 of their replacements, and they've got another half an hour to play. As Freddie Adu tries to make early progress down that far side, stopped by Cardaccio. Credited with the own goal officially, as it rolled agonizingly over the line with just 3 minutes left to give the USA that priceless lifeline. Here's the other number 7, Danny Zatella. Zatella will swing this in, right-footed. Can they find, having gone behind, a goal to go in front with? Not like that, because Arismendi belted it away. It runs away over the touchline. for a Uruguayan throw. Arismendi. Uruguay will know how close they came to winning this game. And that ball ricocheted back off the upright, with the seconds ticking away. Adaccio once again wide. Cavani making himself available in the middle, but the cross had just too much on it, way too much on it, and it just drifts away for a USA throw. The reward is a quarter-final for one of these teams against Austria, who, to confirm, have beaten Gambia in Edmonton by 2-1. Erwin Jimmy Hoffa got the decisive goal with 9 minutes left. Here is Cardaccio. Just chip it over the wall. But high and wide. And it is a goal kick. Luis Suarez, well, I'm sure he thought, and his teammates thought, that his goal was going to be the one that took them into the quarterfinals, but it wasn't to be. You've got to play the full 90. That's the first rule of this game.
And although the Americans have used up all their substitutions, they've got momentum now. They got to feel good about that. They didn't think they were going to get the second chance with that late goal. Own goal by Cardaccio.
So 1-1 it is. Nightfall in Toronto. McCarthy, I think, was fouled there. It was McCarthy. Under the challenge of Siracco. And a free kick to the USA. So 15 minutes each way. Regardless of if there is any scoring, we will play the full half hour. There's no golden goal in this competition format. McCarthy. Arismendi was in the way. Once again, a throw to the Americans.
Interesting how the golden goal came into play, Nigel, and then they took it away. They wanted to stay away. Possibilities of, nobody wants to see penalty shots, and yet they've gone back to the full 30 minutes of play, 15 minutes each way. I quite like the golden goal, actually. I thought it was a good way to, if there is a goal scored in extra time, save those chances of penalties. Nobody knows much about that, and the luck and the draw and the lottery of a penalty shootout, which we may very well see here if there's no goals in this 30 minutes.
And certainly in the first half, we almost joked at half-time that both teams were playing for penalties then. In the end, they both scored late in the game, and it may yet come to a penalty shootout. It was Akpan, who thought he'd scored, celebrated as though he had, but in fact didn't get the final touch, as we now know, and dispossessed. Here comes the Uruguayans again through Roman. And Zatella picks it up for the Americans. Bradley sweeps it out to that left-hand side for Robbie Rogers. Kept it in well. Now Adu goes down very quickly. The Americans still have a chance, but far too near the goalkeeper. It's interesting, the golden goal debate. You say there are those who are fans of it. It rewards the team that wants to be offensive in extra time. Of course, the argument against it is that if you are on the receiving end, there's no time to play your way back into the game.
Well, that's right, but they talk so much about the debate of penalties and how they should decide games and whether it should be done like that or whether there should be other ways to decide. Do they play till they're dropped? Well, in these sort of tournament formats, it's very difficult because obviously there's games and they're coming thick and fast, and physically the players are under a lot of pressure, and you don't want to have them play too long for the better football that's going to be played as well. So it is a difficult one. It certainly is a debate, but they're going to try and stay away from penalties. Well, a good way to do it would be golden goal.
It's not a debate in this game. Just to underline, there is no golden goal rule. We will play 30 minutes of extra time. If there is no further scoring, it will go to penalties. This one will go for a corner. It Tabari Yudes has won for his team. The sole substitute so far made by Gustavo Ferrin. And Brian Perk, what a debut he's had. Memorable for a number of reasons. Will he end up on the winning team? Cross floated across, it's come to Cavani, and Perk was up to it. And the second time. Well done, the youngster.
And he's taken a knock as well. Good save by Perks. Very brave as well. If you're not brave as a goalkeeper, forget it. He might be a little bit smaller than the starter. But have a look at this. Comes in, free header, not good defending. And when you look at this, compared to the American goal, when you're heading it, you head it back across the goalkeeper. He's going to palm that back into play. Palms it down, gets up very, very quickly. Still in play, gets up, good, quick feet, and takes a knock. You're going to take the knock. Well done to Perks.
Suare스 was gesticulating that the ball had gone over the dead ball line and wanted a corner, and my apologies to him, it was indeed Caceres who got the initial header in. Not unlike his skipper, Cavani, from a distance. But the score remains deadlocked at 1-1. We're midway through this first period of extra time. Max McCarty looked around him, wasn't sure what to do, so headed it into touch. Diaz will take the throw. Siracco still going, gets his shot away. Once again, Perk got his body behind it.
Yeah, he must be very happy with his display. He's done all right. In for the injured Chris Seitz, who has been outstanding in this tournament. We see a big collision there at the bottom of your screen.
Akpan went in there. He's still on the deck, but I don't think he bore the brunt of the challenge. I think Diaz felt it more. No quarter asked nor given in that particular challenge.
Isn't it interesting, though, when you see players go down that are legitimately hurt, they don't roll around much.
That's what they always say. If you're really hurt,
and that is a car crash.
Well, certainly Diaz, and Akpan felt it too. He got a bang in the face. Diaz is flat on his back. In fact, there are two stretchers out there now, one for either. Whether or not they'll both be needed remains to be seen. Once again, another stoppage in this game, which hasn't been a classic, but there's been plenty of incident, certainly towards the end of the second half, and now at the start of extra time. And Diaz is being stretchered away.
That's another one. Americans have been down a few times. Not one of them has been actually stretchered off. They'll find their way off. Akpan took it square in the face. He's going to walk off the field.
Diaz, sympathetic applause from the Uruguayan fans right down there near the touchline beneath him, beside him.
Just making sure his nose is on straight.
Play goes on, and the Uruguayans content for the moment to play on with 10 men. And see if they can get Diaz patched up and back on the field. Cavani looked for the give and go. They've given it away again. A rather tame shot from Cardaccio. A lot of attention still down below us out of your shot on Diaz. And they'll have to make a decision soon on whether he can go on. He's just up on his feet now. Maybe giving some smelling salts by the team doctor. I don't know whether they still administer smelling salts. They used to.
Oh yeah, they do. Certainly does wake you up quickly as well. It's strong stuff. A lot of players used to do that before games, actually have a good old sniff on smelling salts to just make sure that they're in tune and ready to go right from the start.
Well, Diaz is repaired enough to get him back on the field and rejoin that back line, which has done its job. And Ferrari is caught offside. Forward come the red shirts again. It's another one for Siracco to challenge. McCarty was challenging with him. Got the benefit of the referee's decision that time. 4 minutes left in this first period of extra time. As Wallace pumps it forward for the white-shirted Americans. This will come from McCarthy. Nice delivery there. He's got Akpan outside him, decides to go inside, further inside to Zitella. Thought about the shot, it's come all the way through, but he's going to be offside. It wouldn't have counted. The assistant referee was quickly up with the flag. Adu wasn't to know that, but it wouldn't have counted.
Clever midfield play, though, spotting where Adu was, and yes, he was just a half-yard offside. But take nothing away from the goalkeeper, at the bell. A terrific save, and he's down again.
He's needing attention as well. So yet another stoppage in this first period of extra time. Officially we played just over 12 minutes, but this first period of extra time could last somewhere near 20.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong with him. He made a good save. Does it come up and hit him right in the face?
Ooh,
yes, it does. Right off
in the
face. Yep. Good goalkeeping though. Spreading himself, making himself as big as possible. He had no idea that the flag was up for offside.
Well, it doesn't matter how you keep them out, as long as you keep them out, but it must hurt when you get one square in the face like that. You would know all about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I tell you what, you'll take one square in the face if you save it, and if that would have counted, you'll take one like that all day long. What hurts more is when it's in the back of the net.
Thabo happy to get on with it. Throw into the Americans on that far side as Robbie Rogers trots forward. Wallace, and now this is Rogers. Easily dispossessed though. Rogers hasn't had the most effective games, it has to be said, down that far side. Dax McCarthy. Referee waves play on. Maybe there was contact with Siracco, but McCarthy on the charge here, goes round one. Plays it in field, looking for Adu, but the red shirts had spotted it. And then they give it straight back to Zitella.
See, for my money, Adu stays a little bit too static at times. He doesn't have that movement that you see from South American great players, and if he's going to be a great player, he has to show a lot more movement off the ball as well as on it. And that time he got caught because he's just too static.
He was very ambitious with that ball, which he wanted Rogers to run onto. He's played too far forward, and Rogers never had a hope. Just drifted away for another goal kick at the south end of the National Soccer Stadium here in Toronto. 1-1 in the last minute of the first period of extra time. But I think there's going to be 2 or 3 additional minutes for the stoppages we've already had. Throw into the States, which Wallace takes, looking for Rogers. Now the referee is going to show a card to Wallace for that challenge, and I think it's probably a totting up of offences as far as the young American left back is concerned, but Anthony Wallace is cautioned.
Yeah, when you're as physical as Wallace is, you're going to be making lots of challenges, and that's coming in from behind, and that is a bookable offense. Catches him right on the back of the right ankle from behind.
Well, there's just 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first period of extra time, which frankly is ludicrous. We must have lost 3 or 4 minutes during those stoppages.
Oh, we had just 2 pretty bad injuries there.
Indeed. And now it's Viudez who's clutching his arm. With just about 30 seconds left in this first period of extra time. Wallace, no confirmation of that yellow card. Is there time to mount another attack before the referee's whistle goes? He attempted the overhead bicycle kick, which came to nothing, and then Perk had to be perky to get off his line and make sure the attack came to nothing.
Yeah, have a look at this overhead kick. Nowhere near the ball. It's actually about chest high, but as it finally gets cleared, it comes into Perks, who cleans up the mess again. And you know, he's talk about not the largest goalkeeper, but you have to be strong in other areas, and as a small goalkeeper you're usually quicker than big ones, and you have to really anticipate that as we see the end of the first half of extra time come to an end.
So that's it. Freddie Adu and co. And Edison Cavani and co. have not yet managed to add to the scoring, and that's part of the reason why. And Jonathan Irazabal still clutching his nose, having taken one straight in the face off Freddie Adu, but his face deflected it away from goal. And after the first period of extra time, we are still deadlocked here at 1 apiece. As Thomas Rongen comes out to counsel his troops, to urge them on to one last effort. The American coach had his successes, Rongen, MLS Coach of the Year in '96, won an MLS Cup with DC in '99, and took the USA youngsters to the quarterfinals of this tournament 4 years ago. So he's been there and done it. And I'm just wondering what the mindset is now at this stage. Do you think, well, we've got this far, there's 15 minutes before penalties, or do you go hell for leather in this final 15 minutes and try and score the winner?
Well, that's always the million-dollar question, but I think the first one would be more likely. I think the teams are tired and they don't want to give anything away. And although nobody likes to go to penalties, sometimes you want to try your luck in that department. But will it be just a bit of brilliance that will separate these two teams? Will it be Cavani, who has the ability to beat any team, even at the full men's national team level, playing for Palermo and Serie A? Will it be Freddie Adu, the starlet? Will it be the goalkeepers that make the big save at the right times? Could it be Perks, who has played very well as a second-string goalkeeper for the United States, in for Chris Seitz?
Or possibly Irazabal, just going through your picture there, second-string keeper for Uruguay. Just maybe it'll be the golden boots of Freddie Adu as we begin this second period of extra time. 1-1 it remains. Uruguay took the lead after 73 minutes. And there's room here. Just for a second, it seemed to be heading all the way through to Akpan before the intervening boot of Caceres conceded the corner. So 15 minutes for these teams to sort it out between them on the field of play, or it will be a penalty shootout to decide who goes on to beat Austria here in the quarterfinals on Saturday. Freddie Adu, left-footed in-swinger. Up go the heads again. Punch from the keeper. Oh, it's gone in. It has gone in. And they're in front, and it's Michael Bradley. And within the first minute of the second period of extra time, the central defender has got forward, stuck out his right boot, and Bradley could be a hero. The US in front for the first time in the match. They lead Uruguay by 2-1. Well, they're all smiles now.
There was a good ball in the box. We talked about keepers, both of them backups. Well, this is a keeper mistake. He should hold on to that or clear it with a better punch. It gets blocked down. It falls to Michael Bradley, the son of the American full national team coach. And he's going to make no mistake as this scuffs across the face right into his right foot. Puts it in the top of the net for the American lead, 2-1.
Well, if it is going to penalties, Uruguay have got to find an equaliser, having led from the 73rd minute, and they're immediately responding by making a substitution, having fallen behind. And Elias Figueroa is coming on to replace Juan Siraco, who's been very lively down this right-hand side. So Figueroa is on for the cause, but it is the goal of Michael Bradley in 107 minutes. Which has given the USA a potentially priceless lead here in extra time. Flick on. What's the referee going to do here? Gone to his pocket. There's a card.
Oh, this is interesting because I saw, or thought I saw, a handball by the Uruguayan as he's just coming through before that foul was actually taken. Wow, but look, at the replay, gets lobbed in. It's like Little puts his hand out. No, he does not. Good call by the official. Very good. Right in a dangerous area. Can Uruguay reply to that American goal lead? Now 2-1 down. This is a dangerous position.
Julian Valentin, latest player to be cautioned. 1, 2, 3, I'm just counting. I think there's 7 in the wall for the Americans. They know they have a precious, priceless lead to protect. And Figueroa immediately into the action. A substitute will take this free kick. Cavani is there as well, but I fancy it's going to be Figueroa. Left-footed, it is Figueroa into the wall. Now the referee's whistle is gone. Well, what's he saying here? He wants it taken again, I fancy. He's pushed them back even further. Yellow card for the protest to Freddie Adu.
Well, it's encroachment. They're running into the wall, and Freddie Adu has moved up. He's only about 6 yards away from the ball when it struck. You have to be 10. That's encroachment. That is a booking. Rightly so, and it will be retaken. Can they hit the ball better the second time around? That was Porty struck the first time.
Cavani issuing the instructions and then walks away, but it might be Figueroa again. He's certainly a candidate. Maybe the first one was just a sighter. Can the US withstand the Uruguayan pressure? The Americans lead 2-1. It's ricocheted away for a corner. And the Americans survive. I'm sure their hearts missed a beat for a second. Corner to the Uruguayans. Perk comes, gets a bit of it, over the top. Goal kick. And two of the Americans pushing each other there. In the ensuing struggle to get a foot on the ball and clear it away. But they did what they had to do.
Desperate defending by the Americans. Goalkeeper this time, the American goalkeeper, Perks, unable to get a good punch on it. He was fortunate enough not to end up in the back of the net. At the other end, Thobel, not so lucky.
10 minutes left in this second period of extra time. As Perk battles one in the end into the night sky in Toronto. Can the Americans hold on? The Uruguayans have got to come forward and try and find an equaliser. As Robbie Rogers skips one challenge and is then taken down under the challenge of Kagelmacher. Referee waves him away.
It is a free kick. The Americans will be in no hurry to take it either.
Not now. Freddie Adu. There's a two-man war facing him. And he'll be looking further than that as he swings another one in. It's wide. But the Americans were there first.
Well,
Bradley once again.
Bradley scored the goal to take the lead, and that it was a good chance as well. That's a free header for Bradley. 7 yards out, missing the target. Good opportunity to close the game out for the Americans right there. Uruguay's lifeline still holds.
Referee's whistle goes again. American free kick against Cavani this time. And now he knows that his team are playing catch-up. There was little to choose in the first half. Perhaps Uruguay shaded it in the second. But now in extra time, they find themselves a goal behind and the clock running against them. Midway through this second period of extra time, Robbie Rogers for the Americans, confronted by two red shirts. One of them was Kagelmacher. Referee.
And he's going to pull his card out again here.
Yes, he is. And this time it's Ferrari.
And that's the US's 5th yellow card in this game.
I'm not so sure this game is going to finish 11 aside, you know.
And if they do go any further, having those bookings are going to be a factor later in this tournament. They all got wiped out after the group stage, sitting on 5 yellows.
They won't care about it for the next 5 minutes, though, if they can get through. If they don't, it doesn't matter anyway. It was Akpan battling back, trying to win the ball for the cause.
The referee thought he saw his arm come up on the side of them, and yes, he did. He ends up winning the ball, but not before he gave it a little tug.
Free kick to Uruguay. Midway inside the American half. It'll be floated in again.
Americans are deep.
Is this Cavani's moment? Come all the way through. Wallace got a piece of it. And now the keeper's come. As Adu was closing in.
Good goalkeeping.
He did what he needed to do. Forward again. And at the other end, Kirk had to be brave. There's 2 of them down here. Wallace is one. On a fancy the other it might be Caceres. Holding his right knee now. It was a 50-50 challenge for the ball. No intent on either player's part. As the ball was bouncing and the stretchers are back on the field. It is Caceres. And it was certainly Wallace. The signal there, I think, clearly that a substitution is going to have to be made.
Yeah, and they will make a substitution.
And Maurizio Prieto, who played in the last game against Zambia, will be in all likelihood. He's gone and sat down again now, down in front of us in the dugout. See how this ensues. I'm not sure that Caceres will continue, as he's borne away to this near touchline. Well, inside the last 5 minutes, they are going to make the substitution as soon as there is another break in play. More about that in a moment. It'll run through once again to Irizabal. He needs to hurriedly clear his lines. Arismendi with the flick on. But here's Zatella for the Americans. Still Zatella to Adu. Couldn't get round the first challenge. And the Uruguayans need to break with speed now as they come forward. Budes. Nice skills from Cardaccio. But will it produce anything? The answer is no. Great roar from the crowd. Cavani trying to take control. Now a little bit of showboating from Adu, who's got round a couple of them and then got bundled over, did he? To the disgust of the Uruguayan defenders.
And he's going to get booked for that as well. I'm almost certain of it.
And here is the replacement for Caceres, who went down holding that leg. There is another booking, you're quite right. Meanwhile, striker Gerardo von der Putten is on. Final throw of the dice for Gustavo Ferrin. They have to go gung-ho. Marcel Roman is the latest player to enter the referee's notebook. There have been plenty of them in extra time. 3 minutes.
Oh, we're going to see another booking here for dissent.
I think that might have been Cardaccio. I'll confirm that for you momentarily. Robbie Rogers loses out in possession to Arismendi. And to Zatella. And Rogers ghosts inside. And run all the way through. Cardaccio it was. Just to confirm that latest yellow card. It's going to be a corner.
Cardaccio with the yellow card, and now Uruguay with only a few minutes left. 2 minutes left. Could this be their last roll of the dice?
2 minutes and change for the South Americans to keep themselves in this tournament. They trail the Americans by 2-1, having led by 1-0. Up go the heads again, but once again the Americans are solid. Adu waits for the cavalry to arrive. Now what's he got in terms of pace? He's got 2 away to his right, and one of them is Danny Sotella, who's in on goal. Sotella must go, well, just got back in time, did Figueroa, to put him off his shot, but for a moment Sotella was clean in on goal. Bradley concedes the free kick.
Well, he just dwelled on the ball, didn't he? He needed to move the ball quicker, and Figueroa, coming off the bench, fresh legs, got back and defended, giving his team perhaps one more chance.
Up the other end, ball into the area one more time, that's too high. And it's a goal kick, and a few more seconds tick by as the Uruguayans desperately search for an equaliser. We're in the final minute of extra time. How much will be added in terms of stoppages? If the first period is anything to go by, probably not more than 1, but we shall see. Ferrari again gives the ball away. Uruguay, this could be the last chance. McCarty lets it bounce, and good skills from the youngster for a second time. Nicely done, confident in his own ability. The white shirts coming forward again, they just need to keep it in opposition territory. Kagelmacher must belt it forward. Seconds are running out. Cavani, first touch was a poor one, gives it away. 1 minute of stoppage time, that's all there'll be. And we are in to that last 60 seconds. Can the USA hold on? They know they are close. Freddie Adu. Wonderful pace, and that could be the finisher. Oh, he saved it from Ferrari. But it'll be to no avail if they can't get it down the other end quickly. Thomas Rongen, the American coach, has the ball at the moment.
Great pace from Adu, getting into the danger area, and there wasn't enough meat on the shot because the keeper would never have got there otherwise. And while there's time, only 1 goal in it, Uruguay still has a life.
Wallace with the throw forward, suggestion of handball. Play on, says the referee. Robbie Rogers in behind 1. It'll run away for a goal kick. Seconds are almost up. The Americans on the verge of a famous victory here in Toronto. Belted forward one more time by Irizabal. How many more seconds have the Uruguayans got to conjure up a last gasp equaliser?
They're throwing lots of bodies forward.
One last chance possibly for Uruguay. Half away. It can only be seconds. There are no more seconds. The Americans celebrate. The Americans have come from behind, and they have booked themselves a place in the quarterfinals of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup with a dramatic come-from-behind 2-1 victory over Uruguay.
We got some problems out here now. There's lots of pushing go around. Uruguayans, historically, very, very poor losers. See a lot of this in South America after games. Poor sportsmanship should not be going on. There is some fists being thrown out there right now, and there's nothing that they should be complaining about. It was a tight, well-fought game. Both and either team could have gone through. And they have to be careful. You don't want to have people sent off. This will be costly later on down the road for both the U.S. and Uruguay, even though they're out. And Michael Bradley gets pulled away, and he's best off just leave it all alone. He's already sitting on the yellow card. Thomas Rongen, the manager's now in there, trying to police the situation. Doing a good job. He's seen this all before. He needs to see good attitude, strong minds.
Well, it's an ugly end to a dramatic game. Finally, the handshake starts. The USA are through. They'll play Austria in the quarterfinals. Final score here after extra time. USA 2, Uruguay 1. Back inside to Scott Russell.
Nigel, the USA escapes all kinds of adversity, including the loss of Josie Altidore. They go to the quarters against Austria Saturday. FIFA U20 will continue.